Three things I learned from classical training. This is organic matcha green tea, by the way, for people who care. So, number one, the power of resonance. Before getting classically trained, I was singing in church, and I thought you blast everything this way. So, morning time, and evening time. The good thing about classical training, my first classical teacher used to say, ring louder than you sing. So, morning time and evening time, summertime and winter time. I didn't realize how big my voice could be because I was so busy trying to push it out of me instead of letting it ring through the hollow cavities of my body. So learning how to resonate really helped me. So even when I do, I got this feeling and I just can't let it loose, being the man that I am. It helps me even with my stuff that seems antithetical to it. It helps me to not push. It helps to give me safety. So learning how to find power through resonance was super key. The second thing, athleticism. There was no pretense of the voice being effortless, and I'm grateful for that. It was understood, both when I was a college student and when I worked professionally, it was understood that this was an athletic feat, that you had to take care of your body, that you needed to eat well, that you needed to rest. You know, the whole stereotype of the out of shape opera singer, I didn't see that. I saw people who were very fit, of all different body types, but who were very fit because they understood the instrument is me. Not just this, the instrument is me. It was understood that you might sweat, that you were going to be really working. And so there was just, I'm grateful because I feel like it really set me up for success with my later pursuits as a vocalist and as a voice teacher. I think I have more stamina than a lot of my fellow voice teachers, not calling anybody out in particular, but I have a lot of vocal coach friends who will come to me telling me, you know, I'm losing my voice from teaching so much, and they don't even teach or sing as much as I do. But I think what helped me was every note I sing is connected to my body because I was really trained that way in classical training. The third thing is that progress takes time. I remember being a freshman and being very frustrated. I have a whole series on YouTube called How I Learned to Sing, and you can watch that whole thing. I'm not going to rehash the story. But I was very frustrated because I sucked. And I remember talking to this girl, Tiffany Johnson, I think was her name. If you're watching this, hey, you were amazing. You blew me away. In choir rehearsal and concert choir, cascading waves of glorious sound from heaven above would pour forth from her mouth. And I was like, how? And at this point, it's funny because I was such a shy kid, but if I met a great singer, I would not hesitate to ask, like, hey, how are you doing that? And she so calmly was like, give it a couple years. I was like, a couple years? She's like, at least 2 years. It's like, you're not bad. It's just that it takes about like 2 years before you can start to feel what support can really do, for you to really be able to use your open throat technique. Give it a couple years. I was thinking days, weeks at the most. And she was like, give it a couple years. There's even this clip of Pavarotti singing like, he's doing like an F sharp, and he's like killing it, and everybody's praising him because he's Pavarotti and he sounds amazing. And he goes, it takes 10 years to sing a sound like that. You know, forgive my crappy accent, guys. There was a little more Russian there. But my point is, he was like, it took me years to be able to sing that one note that way. And I think that in the gospel world, and I'm black, surprise, but in African American culture, in New Orleans, in the Deep South, there was this idea of anointing, for those of you who don't know, is this idea that Jesus gives it to you or he doesn't. So the idea that you could work for it and that it could take years was totally foreign to me. I grew up thinking you either have it or you don't. Either baby Jesus touches your throat when you're born and or he doesn't. You know? So the idea that I could work for it and that I could grow and that people were proud of their technique, that was special for me, and I needed that. So anyway, just thought I'd share. I actually have on my Patreon a whole series called Practical Classical, where I share some of the techniques that I learned from my classical training that I think could benefit a singer of any style, rock, pop, R&B, musical theater, whatever. And anyway, I'm going to finish this and teach my next class. Talk to y'all later, guys.